give the public an opportunity to move out of the way. Shotgun blast out of the zoo. You're seeing these killing birds in the zoo. They have a permit. But the city of San Antonio also, there's what we do in the park, in the zoo. Sorry for that. That's the board knockers in the park. They are around the restrooms. You cannot go by without getting a wood bang in your ear, which is a health hazard. It is loud enough to cause injury. Brackenridge Park is my park. It's the park of the people. We fund the park system through our taxpayer dollars. The park has not been loved to death. The park has been neglected. It has been left to fall apart for years. I've watched you 5 years and you destroyed that park. You've removed vegetation, you mess with the birds, you cause issues. Oh, explosives, it's over here in the park. As a historic property, it should be maintained yearly. We shouldn't have to wait for that other bathroom to fall apart and then to hear you say you're not going to fix it when you've already taken our money, our taxpayer dollars, and our taxes just went up to fix or maintain our parks, and you're not even maintaining Brackenridge Park. Why? Because you want to build an event venue that we did not vote on? The violence in Brackenridge has to stop. This effort to deter or scare away migratory birds that have as much right to be there as we do has to stop. Use of explosives in a historic park does not maintain the aesthetic of a historic property. It does not follow the guidelines of the Advisory Council for Historic Preservation or the National Historic Preservation Act, because you are promoting the violence. And we're finding explosive cartridges throughout the park. And then the visual, the audible, the balloons in the trees are not part of a historic site that you would consider seeing there. The wood banging, you're exposing all these people. You have 5 busloads of children there, and you're banging 2x4s by the restrooms where those poor little kids had to walk through, and you gave them no choice. And guess what? Who is most susceptible to the noise is children. Noise level over 120 decibels. We have a decibel reader. We've clocked it or measured it numerous times, over 120 safe decibel level of noise. Brackenridge is our park, the park of the people. Is it already read? Anyway, thank you. Stop the chop.
Stop the chop.
Daniel Armstrong, followed by Ida Ayala.
Hi, I'm Daniel Armstrong. I'm an artist who works in the park. Let me get my drawing real quick. I want to show y'all. So this is a drawing. Oh my God, can you get that for me? Sorry. So this is a drawing I made based on stuff that, I've kind of videotaped happening from outside the zoo. I am an artist and I've been working in Brackenridge Park for over 10 years. And I was banned from the zoo recently because I came in there and I asked a zookeeper, are those cranes for removing bird nests? And she said, no, those are for removing zoo lights. And I don't believe her. And a few weeks later, I caught her on video. I caught zookeepers, not USDA employees, removing birds' nests on video. And I've caught it several times since. I just go bring my ladder right behind the zoo, because I can't go in the zoo. I'll get arrested if I go in the zoo. So I just bring my ladder, and I've been taking videotape over the fence. And so here's some of the things going on. They've got lasers. They've got, shotgun blasts. You hear those. We have the recording of it. And it doesn't sound like the bangers and the whistlers. It's a different sound. And, one interesting thing I've noticed is they don't have wood knockers inside the zoo. They're using the other bird harassment. The birds will fly away and they'll come back to those trees. But they don't have the wood knockers inside the zoo. And the wood knockers are sort of effective. They draw the birds out of the trees just outside the zoo. And then they go and feel safe inside the trees in the zoo. And, they like it in there. There's fresh water. They pump 750 million gallons out of our aquifer a year. And I don't think they pay for it, but you can check on that. And so the birds nest in those trees, and then they're shot down. And we got a FOIA request recently that says they have permits to shoot 50 great egrets. And those used to be one of the most common egrets, heron types, in the park. And, now they're not very common. There's maybe 40 great egrets in the park, and I don't think they're getting scared away by wood knockers. No, they're going in those trees in the zoo where they feel safe. We made a nice music video. It's called Laser Girl. That's 2 words, Laser Girl, on AG Bird Lady's YouTube. you can watch it. And it's a funny little song about our friend from the USDA. And, you know, you can see the dead birds hanging in the trees that we took on, you know, 2 days before I got banned from the zoo for asking if their cranes were, you know, you can watch that video too if you just Google banned from the San Antonio Zoo. But, you know, you can see those dead birds hanging from the trees. And we reached out to the zoo and they said no birds are being harmed. Then why are there dead, like 10 dead birds all right next to each other? Just, you know, hanging from the trees. I find that interesting, you know, that birds aren't being harmed. I don't really believe that. And, you know, 10 years ago when I was there drawing at the zoo, you know, I would see, you know, specifically the director walking around, and he's looking up at the trees, just disgusted by the birds. You know, I never talked with him, he never spoke with me. But, you know, I knew he didn't like those birds, and they had the wood knockers back then. And, you know, now they're not in the zoo, they're in the park, and, you know, they're scaring the trees out of the park. They're going into the zoo, and they're shooting them down when they're in their safest place they can be, in their nests at night. It's disgusting. They've turned the zoo into a death camp for native wildlife. And, you know, I guess the zoo doesn't like free things, and they don't like wild things. And I think our park should stay free. And, you know, I think our birds should stay wild. I don't think they should be shot down inside the zoo. It's disgusting. And I don't know why the news isn't reporting on it, because I've sent them a lot of information about this. So that's pretty much what I wanted to say. And, you know, if you want to take a look at closer look at my drawing, you know, please come talk to me. Thanks.
Alfredo Llamas.
The city has been pitting the trees against the walls. Remove a tree to save an historic wall. However, according to the Texas Historic Commission, the trees are included in the historic designations that the park now holds. The removal or maintenance of any one tree in the park must first be approved by THC. The protection of the trees goes all the way to the U.S. Department of the